But let me move on to what I was saying, right? Suge told me that when he went and he bust that U-turn, and I'm going back to what Kevin Hackey saying that the ATF was right behind Frank and them, watching the whole thing. FBI agent and the ATF because they was investigating death row, right? And it's not a stretch that Hackey could have been in that car. You never know. Because he said he knew for a fact that he could have the person in Biggie's case in cuffs in 48 hours, 2 weeks, the latest, and he knew exactly who did it. And it wasn't no goddamn Poochie. So being that, according to Hackey, that the FBI and the ATF were in the caravan of the cars, right, undercover, following them, right? When Suge told me when he went and he bust the U-turn, he said police came out of nowhere and side-swiped his car, try to run him off the road, right? Could it have been that same vehicle? And this is why he said his rims is banged up on the passenger side of the car because when he bust the U-turn, they came out of nowhere and they tried to run him off the road. And he went wide and ran up on the curb. Boom, boom. And then dipped off and ran up to Las Vegas Boulevard. And then they got pulled over or his rims gave out or whatever. He couldn't drive no more, but they got stopped up on Las Vegas Boulevard. I believe that. Now that I know that Popo was in the entourage with them, maybe they didn't they wasn't going to try to pull him over because they couldn't pull him over. But who's to say? Or maybe those was another set of police. But he did say police rammed his car and made him go up on the sidewalk or try to ram his car. And that's why if you look at his rims, think about it. If he would have just busted U-turn and just went straight up, his rims wouldn't be bent like that. He said they tried to run him off the road and he went up on the sidewalk, and that's why his rims is banged up like that. Trying to find a picture of it. Oh, there you go. You see the rims? Look at that big dent. Now, why would the police be trying to sideswipe him? And they wasn't in the marked car. Just something to think about. But I believe him when he say that. Because what he say, you solve one, you solve both. What else he said? Perez and them was trying to kill him. What else he said? Reggie and Perez was good friends, and Sharitha and Reggie and Perez was great friends. And he said Orlando wasn't the shooter. And all y'all goofies came out and said, oh, well, Big Dre was the shooter. Big Dre was the shooter. Y'all forgot Keefy D said Big Dre was scared? And if you believe Keefy D, why don't you believe Keefy D when he said in 1998 that allegedly Reggie Wright Jr. was responsible for killing Tupac? He said that in 98, way before he met Greg Caden in them. When Greg Caden and them came in and to get a statement from him, Greg Caden told him, yo, you can't tell us that other story. Why? Why he can't tell you what he told you and told him in 1998, the FBI, that Reggie Wright Jr. allegedly is the one that orchestrated the Tupac murder. In 98, he said that. Way before he said it was Orlando and all this murder rap story and all this other stuff. Why do everybody disregard that in 1998, before any murder rap, before any of that, that Keefy D gave a statement and said that Reggie Wright Jr. had allegedly had something to do with Tupac murder? The same thing that he's saying now on the news, right? Greg Cade is the one that told him that 4 dudes was in the car. Where you think he get that story from? Porky. But you look it up if you don't believe me. Keefy D gave the feds a statement in 98 and said that allegedly that Reggie Wright Jr. was responsible for the murder of Tupac in 98. Nobody knows where the hell Greg Caden was at in 98. And Greg Caden was not on the Tupac murder. His job was to solve the Biggie murder. Only thing that led him to Keefy D was Reggie ratting again, snitch ass nigga, told Greg Caden, LAPD, that Southside killed Biggie for in retaliation for not getting their money for killing Tupac. And who told Reggie that Southside killed Tupac? Think about it. If Suge is saying Orlando wasn't the shooter, then it would make sense to why he wouldn't care if he came and testified before him. If Reggie is telling his father that Orlando was the shooter, why is he sitting down giving this nigga money? How much money would you pay a guy that shot you in the head and killed your little brother? Because that's what Suge always called Pac, his little brother, right? How much money would you give a dude to come testify for you because you scared that you're going to get a parole violation? You really believe that you could sit down and look at the guy and you think Suge don't have no trauma from that night, all the bullets hitting his car? You think he ain't got no trauma from Tupac dying, but that he could sit down and look at the guy that shot up his car? You really think that? You really think that? He could sit there and look at this guy, and this is the guy that killed Tupac and shot him in the head. And he could sit there and look at him because they gave him $60,000. You would pay the guy that killed Tupac money? So there's a murder suspect, and Reggie and his father and Officer Reynolds is sitting there in Edie Fall's office giving a murder suspect money, doing business with a murder suspect. If y'all buying that, man, I'm selling the San Francisco Bridge for $1. Who want to buy it? Right? Anybody want to buy the San Francisco Bridge? I'm selling it for $1. Joke, no joke, man. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Glenn, you pump faking. Hit that like button before you go. Leave a comment in the when this video go off. Do it make sense to you that Reggie will call his father and tell him Orlando Anderson is the one that shot Tupac and eventually Tupac died? And they sitting there in the meeting giving this nigga money. Do it make sense that Tupac cousin is sitting there laughing and keying with Reggie, knowing that he had a meeting with the guy who said he was the shooter, allegedly, that Reggie said was the shooter, and he's sitting there giving him money, but they love Tupac. The same guy that got Keefy D to do all these interviews on Vlad, Cam Capone, Art of Dialogue, he facilitated these interviews that got his cousin feeling away, and his cousin's cool with Reggie. And Reggie talking about, oh man, you know the fans, we did a poll, the fans wanted us to bring him on our channel, but we ain't do it because, he wanted $500. Nigga, stop lying. Stop lying. We watch you call Keefy D. You called him. Trolling. Ask him when he gonna come on your channel and he hung up on you. Who are you lying? You can lie to them. But you can't lie to us because we watch your lies. They not as up on your bullshit lies like we are. Just like you took and spun them when I asked him the question. How you mad at Keefy D for him going to do the interviews, but you not mad at Reggie for setting up the interviews? Oh, nah, we only was going to interview him because the fans wanted. Nigga, he killed Tupac. What are you interviewing him for, allegedly? Why would you want to interview him? Period. If he wanted $1. Make it make sense. Choke no joke. Y'all have a good night, man. One.